All right. Well, that little didn't work out quite as well as I would have wanted that one to, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. Drop D riffing and all that good stuff. Oh, my big ass solo cup. What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here. Hope you all are enjoying yourselves on this fine Thursday evening. And Aaron, you hit the nail on the head. It was a little toolsy going on there, and I felt like that was appropriate, given the fact that finally, after 13 years, we heard a new Tool track this week. I finally spent a little bit of time listening to it a couple times today, and seems like the jury's kind of leaning towards it not being something that they love that much. But if there's anything that I've learned as being a Tool fan, is that you can never let your own preconceived notions of what Tool is going to do get in the way of enjoying it. They're going to do whatever the hell they want to do, and you just kind of have to accept that. All right, let's see who we got in the chat tonight. Let's quit messing around and everything and see who we got going on. Ben Coombs and, of course, Mr. Aaron Lee of Albus Band are in the chat as well. My blue wrenched friends, it's great to have you here as well. The Pedalboard Jedi in the house, buddy. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you for joining me tonight. Who else we got going in here in the chat? I thought I saw her. The one and only Ms. Amanda Coombs is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. So, boys, it's time to behave. We got ladies watching. We have to behave ourselves. Mickey Settlemeyer in the house. Mickey, good to have you, my friend. Always nice to have some of the regulars joining in. And, hey, we got Brad Miller joining us. And the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Quentin James in the house, everybody. Quentin, it's good to have you here, my buddy. I am so sorry about all the stuff that you've been going through with whatever you're dealing with. You don't have to share any details. You're going through something. I know what it's like to crash, but whatever you're going through, take it one day at a time. We're here. We got your back. I'm just going to be here to give you a good time tonight. I think that's the best thing that I can do. And also let you know, the calendar's been changed. So, you know, you can be. Just know that I changed it. Brad, it's your first time here. Well, I'm glad that you chose tonight to be your first time. Happy to have you here. Mid Valley Effects has joined us in the house. What's going on, guys? Good to see you again. Glad to have you in here for another show. I guess I missed Jay Steen popped in there a little bit, but hey, glad to have you here, Jay. Quentin, that's good that you've gotten a lot of support from the friends and family. That makes me feel good. As I told you earlier, I'm not in a position to help out financially with whatever you're going through and needing a little bit of help, but dude, I'm here to be, at least just be a buddy. You know, that's the best I can do. So, you know, I'm glad that things are starting to improve, and I'm glad that you're able to get a little bit of a leg up. You know, people act like just, you know, crashing and burning even just a little bit is no big thing, but you know, when you get severely burnt out, and I went through this over the, you know, right before the summertime, I was just getting really burnt out, and it was hard, you know, hard to get out of bed in the morning because you're just so tired, physically exhausted, because just you keep feeling like it's just nothing's working. You get a little bit far behind, and you don't feel like you can recover. But you know, you kind of have to just take it one day at a time, and you know, have the temerity to just get up and go. And you know, luckily for me, you know, Quentin, you have friends and family that have been willing to help. I had friends and family who were willing to help. So, you know, it took a lot off my shoulders. But I am glad to have you here. I feel like this guitar is not staying in tune today. Been noticing that a lot of my guitars have been slipping in and out of tune recently. Like, really easily. Must be because it's so hot here in California. I think I did something all right. Ah, good. Ben, thank you for putting up Quentin's GoFundMe page. I looked for it earlier, and for some reason, it wouldn't let me view the listing unless I actually had a GoFundMe account. You know, Aaron, it hasn't really been that humid, but it's just been hot. Like, you know, we have to blast the air conditioning, especially when I, you know, work here in the studio with the lights and everything, you know, all the equipment running. But yeah, it's been kind of unbearable. Like, even walking to the grocery, I was walking to the grocery store 2 hours ago to pick up something to make for dinner, and it was still like, it wasn't terribly hot outside, but it certainly was not comfortable. Goddamn climate change. Yep, that's the stuff. So yeah, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do tonight? Let's see. 72 and cloudy up here in Oregon. Usually it's way hotter. Yeah, it is. You know, West Coast summertime. It's always kind of, you know, wonky. I want to show you guys something cool I did today. So I've been messing around a little bit with OBS to try to, you know, up my live stream game a little bit, and I came up with something today in Photoshop. You know, you can see at the bottom left corner of the screen that I usually have my logo down there, and I usually like it, you know, as a way to, you know, keep the brand so that everybody knows what's watching. But check out what I did today. Boom! I added like a little thing on the bottom. I literally did this in less than 10 minutes, and it was just something that I wanted to play around with as like a way of, you know, sharing something with new viewers, to be able to, you know, get you guys into the Instagram, get you guys into the Patreon, and be able to show with you guys, you know, directing you to the thing. It's not fancy, and it will most likely evolve over time to be something, you know, a little bit more special than it is. But I felt kind of proud of myself once little victories, little small victories, you know, that really means a lot. But it is, you know, it's a nice little touch, as Pedalboard Jedi has just said. It's a nice little touch to be able to have that down there and like sort of make the live stream setup just a little bit more pro. So, yeah, that's kind of one of the little things that I did today. I spent a lot of time actually getting some content scheduled over the course of the next few weeks. We've got 3 different demos of 3 different pedals from Engel amps. They'll be coming out over the course of the next 3 Saturdays. And of course, if you want to see those before anybody else, you can, go over to the Patreon, join, and you'll basically get that 48-hour early access deal. But I'll tell you right now, having gone through all of them now in post-production, these are some of the best recording and best sounding pedals that I've run across in a very long time. I really, really have been enjoying them, and I'm certain that they will find their way onto my pedal board. One of the pedal boards, in fact, that's a subject of what we're going to talk about tonight. They're going to find their way into some way, shape, or form. A pedal board of some sort, but also I'm kind of toying around with the idea of possibly doing a giveaway in the very near future. So we'll kind of see how things go. If I feel like it's something that I like and it's something that I enjoy, then yeah, we'll throw it on the board. But if it seems like it's something that would be cool for you guys to have, I'd be happy to throw it into a giveaway. Before we talk about anything else, I do want to make quick mention of what we got going down on the floor, because I busted out a few new things, which in a way is related to the other stuff that we're going to talk about, which is how many pedal boards is too many. I pulled out my MXR EVH Phase 90. Set on script, real slow for that classic Eddie sweep, but doing it not necessarily in the way that he would do it, for the whole making it even a little bit more of an atmospheric effect. Nice little subtle motion. The second pedal that we've got on the floor is made by a company in Germany called Amp Effects. And I've done demos of a couple of their pedals over the course of the last year or so, and I busted out, after not having played it for quite a long time, the 304 Overdrive, which is basically a really souped up full-tone OCD style pedal. That's in tune. But I really like this one particular version. He sent 2 along. One was, and his name's Albert, by the way, who builds them. I haven't heard from him in a long time, but I hope he's doing well, because these pedals are really cool. This is sort of a souped up version of that OCD clone pedal that basically takes 3 different OCD style circuits and puts them into one box. That he modified very slightly, different features and different tones from the normal version. And the version 4 on this just sounds killer. I just love the way that feels. down the tone. There we go, that's better. So yeah, I've been toying around with that a little bit, trying to see what's where that's going to go, and of course the Nanolog audio wave function continues to impress and make its mark known in my favorites category, especially on top of this. Nice little kind of extra bit of crunch, still kind of working it with the rock reverb. I'm honestly at a point where I'm thinking maybe, even though I had the whole amp retubed within the last year, the preamp tubes are a little less gainy than that were originally in there, and so I'm kind of toying around with the idea of possibly swapping preamp tubes again to get more close to what I remember the rock reverb really sounding like. Mid Valley, no, it's not the Angle Reapers. These are some new pedals that they've been doing. They call them their custom pedal series. There's a boost pedal called the Full Range. There's a fuzz called the Fuzzy Head, and an overdrive pedal, which I have right here, called the Alpha Drive. And they're really great sounding pedals, very high quality, well built. Just really excited about them. I was not anticipating liking them as much as I did. I knew they'd be good, but I didn't think they'd be this good. So I'm very happy about that. And of course, we're running the rock reverb through the Waza Tube amp expander, as we've been doing pretty much since I got it. And fantastic piece of equipment. Switching the channels, got the EQ running, delay and reverb coming from that as well. So that's basically what we're playing with here. So I wanted to just share my excitement a little bit about this new Tool song that came out over the course of the last couple days. Today, as I said at the top of the show, finally got to listen to it a few times today, and I'm just really excited about it. Adam Jones has been one of my big influences in terms of riff writing and that balance of the ethereal and the heavy, which is something that I love a lot. So I'm looking forward to the release. The package of the physical copies of this new album, which I'm assuming is going to be titled Fear Inoculum, it just sounds insane. You're basically going to get a CD soft pack that has a built-in HD video screen. You can recharge it, and they include a charger for it. And apparently there's going to be some video content that's only available on the physical package. And I honestly have no idea what's going on there. It'll be interesting to see. I'm thinking of getting pre-orders for it. And there are pre-orders for it. There's a shop near me in San Clemente that's taking pre-orders lower price than Amazon. So I'm considering dropping the $40 to get the physical copy. So we'll see how things go. I'm looking forward to it. 10,000 Days came out around the time that I was, getting in really heavily into guitar. It was right before I got into college. Basically, you look at the main Les Paul with the bare Seymour Duncan pickup in the bridge and the covered neck pickup. A lot of that aesthetic choice was basically coming from Adam Jones and seeing his Silverburst Les Paul Customs, and he's also the reason that I love Silverburst Les Paul Customs so much. So I'm very excited about that. Perfecto de Castro in the house. What's going on, buddy? Do I got a tool in my package? I think the tool is my package. Waka waka. Yep, that's that. All right. Yeah, Aaron, I could see myself playing a Savage too. We did kind of talk a little bit about what working together in the future, Angle and myself, would look like. So we'll just see. You know, they're in Germany, and so I don't think they're going to want to ship a huge amplifier clear across the ocean. That's going to be expensive. Although, I think... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that. It's not even worth it to talk about. Ah, Jay, yes, I too am curious about these Boss 200 pedals. I'm hoping that I'll be able to see my buddy Aaron, who works at Boss. He helped me, you know, set up getting the tube amp expander. So I'm hoping that when I see him, I'll be able to get some of the 200 series pedals in, and we can, you know, really dive into them and give them a good look. The DD200 and the EQ200 are the ones that really have my attention. I'm just really loving this idea of using an EQ pedal and really using any EQ post amplifier, as I'm doing with the tube amp expander, to help further shape the tone of the amp. Because it's been a while since I've actually played the rock reverb just, you know, straight as it is. So here's the clean tone of the rock reverb without the EQ from the tube amp expander. Big, kind of woolly. We've got trebles turned up all the way, and bass is at 1 o'clock. And then I turn on the EQ. It's a little more articulate. We take out some of those lows. You know, you can hear that tonal shift, and that really helps out a lot. Definitely makes a big difference on the dirt without it. Just really helps focus the tone, so I'm excited about that one. And then with all the, you know, the MIDI capabilities, and I'm willing at this point in my life to start getting into MIDI when it comes to a pedal board. I'm really looking forward to checking out those two the most. So that's one thing for me. And you know, I know a lot of people, as Aaron comments, Albus Band that is, for those who don't know, a lot of people are wondering if an RV200 is going to be coming out. I personally don't care. I don't need a whole lot of reverb options, because at the end of the day, one of the things that I've discovered over time is that the effects that really make a lot of difference, and this is something that I've heard some other player friends of mine, it's a sentiment that they share, the ones that typically get heard, the effects that really get heard, are usually effects in your gain staging, less so than modulations and echoes and reverbs. So what I kind of am planning on doing, because I want to try to, you know, kind of condense down the setup that I've been using, because I've been using this giant Warwick rock board, which is fantastic, and it's got a lot of room. There's tons of space for pedals, but, you know, it can be a little impractical. And since we're trying over the course of the next few months to get some gigs for the band, you know, it's something that we're kind of taking a little bit of we're taking a little bit of notice of what it's going to require logistically to get things going. And one of the things that I think will help out is if I'm able to, have a more condensed pedalboard setup. And so I kind of plan on using the tube amp expander for, any reverb sound, because it just sounds a lot cleaner than the built-in amp reverb. So I only need one reverb sound. But EQ shaping, focusing the mid-range, subtractive EQ is a big thing that I'm into these days. Taking frequencies out rather than adding them in. So I'm very excited about those two. Echoes, just having good different types of echoes, nice lush digital stuff, having, a darker sound, something with some modulation. You can save 4 presets, and, if there are 4 presets, that's really all I need. Probably going to end up throwing the tonal recall on there. So, I'll be fine. I will be fine. Ah, Janice is here. Hello, Janice. How are you? Good to have you here. Better watch out for the clean amp police. Fluff got hit by them hard. I did. I get that a little bit. And I always try to say it's usually because the Orange is a fairly old school amp in its approach. So, to really get it in the zone for pedals, you got to turn the thing up, and that's the best way to get the tone. So, I'm trying to keep things. You want a little bit of vibe. You don't want it to be like full on, but to me, that's doable. Because if I want, I can clean it up with. Clean it up with volume if I want, and then even So I like it. I like the way that gain responds to where I have the Orange set. It's just, it's nice. It's fine. Good boy, Ben. Good job. Shot some demos yesterday and used an Orange. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. That's the that's. I don't have any complaints about my Orange stuff. At all. Pedalboard Jedi, there are just some guys out there that when it comes to playing, it's like if there is any sort of clipping in the signal, they are just not happy. And to me, like, those are the tones that they lack life, they lack oomph, they lack that special something. How is it that Dr. Evil said? The libido, the life force, the essence, the right stuff, which the French call a certain, I don't know what. It's kind of like that. Just, that's why I've never gravitated towards Fenders. Oh, it's hot in here. This ice water helps. Yeah, I just never... I couldn't get into that, like, super sterile sound. I wanted something... I wanted something that was a little warmer. I wanted something with a little bit of, you know, vibe to it. And you can get clean with this amplifier if you know exactly what you're doing. And I've had this amp for over 10 years now, and I know what I'm doing with it. So, you know, whatever. Mr. Dave Miley, welcome to the show, sir. You're a new name. Well, welcome. If this is your first time, we're happy to have you here. All my best gear I just stumbled on by accident when I was not looking or shopping. Isn't that the best? Isn't that the best kind of gear? Stuff that just happens. You just discover it. You know? It's not you weren't planning on liking it, or it took you completely by surprise, which is actually... Here it is. This little pedal right here, the Sonicake 5th Dimension, got this from Sonicake, and I was just really surprised at how good a lot of the effects in it are. These days, I mostly get comments related to the fact that I mislabel the lo-fi effect as a ring modulator, and it's apparently a bit crutcher. I say, who gives a shit? It still sounds like, it still sounds like a ring modulator to me. But it's enough that I want to actually, you know, put it on a pedal board and like a main rig and use it. Dwight Bailey in the house. Dwight, good to have you here, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Got 13 people watching. This is good. 14 now, apparently. Again, out of tune. This is why a pedal tuner is amazing. So, talking about all these pedals, I know there will be some people that probably will disagree with this statement, but I always have held that you can never have too many pedal boards. They all serve very different purposes. And one of the things that I'm working on right now are a couple different pedal board ideas. First of which is sort of a consolidation deal of my main pedal board, which has mostly, as I said, has been on a Warwick rock board recently. It's very big. Everything's on a single, you know, layer and a single plane. But it was not too long ago. It was last year, as a matter of fact. I had a guitar rig built on this Woggy pedal board. Yeah, there we go. Woggy. Good stuff. Cool pedal boards, nice and lightweight. There's a full like rundown demo of this, so you can go watch that on the channel, and you can, you know, decide for yourself if it's something that you want to invest in. But I like it because we've got twin tier right here with a shelf and something underneath. And so here is a space for the G2, and all of this is free for other pedals, and this was what I used when I had my rig built for the Warped Tour, the rig that I built for the Warped Tour, because nobody else is going to do it for me. And so basically what I'm hoping to do, I have a few of the pedals that I want to put in this new rig in here. But I want to have some things under here, easy to, you know, set and forget type of things that I'm never going to change. And then I want to be able to have, you know, the switcher here. And on the bridge, anything that needs like tap tempo, delays, basically will be all that is. If I have any sort of modulations that would require tap tempo, they'd go on here. And then anything else, like my wireless system will probably go down here. A couple fun pedals like fuzzes or other distortion pedals that I might want to play around with. And then I have a patch bay up here to, just have that one connection point. So I want to be able to, make the rig a little bit easier to transport and look a little bit cleaner. So that's pedalboard 1. Pedalboard 2 is sitting over there, and I shared that with you guys a few weeks ago, and that's basically my direct recording pedalboard, which should basically be a lot of different things that I can use to get as many different tones as possible. But the one thing that makes it is the fact that it uses the Nux Solid Studio Cab Sim and Power Amp Simulator to get me to the DAW. And I did a bunch of testing of pedals last week, so bear with me. Some of these don't have Velcro on them, and some of them do. So, you can see it's kind of a mess right now. So this is the Excel audio pedal board that I got last year. And it all kind of centers around the Solid Studio. But I hit on something really great last week. And that was running the JHS Clover into the Solid Studio. So basically utilizing the Clover as a like a clean channel preamp, and got a good amount of vibe. The EQ is just right for guitar, bass, mid, treble. Run this into that. You got yourself a great little clean platform. And then from there, you can basically put whatever you want to put into the front end of it. And so basically, I'd use the switcher to be able to create some different presets that are quick and easy to access. I'd have the tuner off to the side, and then boom. So these are pedals that obviously they have Velcro on them. That's why I'm able to hold it up like this. So compressor, I always end up using a compressor of some sort. So the orange Kong presser would definitely be the favorite. The Keeley filaments would serve as, kind of the bulk high gain rhythm and lead tone. The Vertex T drive is one of my absolute favorite drive pedals because of how simple it is, but also because of the way that the tone feels. It's very fast attack, very immediate. It's like, latency just is absolutely no problem with this pedal. Pelotar by Pelican Noise Works, an insane sounding fuzz pedal. Kind of blends like a super fuzz with an op amp big muff. You can blend between the two of them. The two circuits with the gain knob. The treble is kind of your tone. Output is your output, of course. There's demos of basically everything on this board on the channel. So if you have any questions about them, you can route through the channel and you can, find things. The Vertex Boost still, despite what everybody says about Vertex, is still one of the best boost pedals, if not the best and most versatile boost pedal on the market. Straight clean boost, sounds fantastic. Expression pedal control of your volume, so it isolates a volume pedal from your signal. Now this was the real tonal revelation thing, was the Way Huge Fat Sandwich. Now this is one of the trio of pedals that Way Huge relaunched with, and I bought it shortly after they were available in stores. This was actually the only pedal I ever bought from Pro Guitar Shop, so it's a little sentimental. The reason I bought it was because of Andy Martin himself, so that's what you got going on there. But for years I've been wondering, like, God, how am I really gonna make this work? It sounds good, but it doesn't always sound great. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I plugged this in to the Clover into the Solid Studio, and everything just kind of came together. It was this really, really, really good, like smooth kind of lead tone that just, oh, it just sounds great. So I kind of want this to have a lot of different gain options, less modulation and less special effects. But basically, this will be something that I can record like really quick. I don't have to turn on an amplifier. I just plug in a pedal board. And if I come up with any ideas or if I'm songwriting, I can get sounds that will basically allow me to do everything that I do with a big board and a full rig in this kind of compact, if you will, package. Without killing myself, there we go. Putting these pedals back on the floor. And then so after that, I kind of was like, you know, I'm going to have that rock board still. So what would I do with that? Would I get rid of it? Or, you know, would I hang on to it and just, you know, let it sit in the road case? And then I kind of got the idea of maybe using that as sort of my experimental pedal board, just putting a bunch of stuff on there that it will just, you know, make me happy to play around with, just so that some pedals, you know, get played and whatnot, and you know, just see what happens. You know, I'm kind of excited about the prospect of having these pedal boards. So, but that begs the question, like, do I have one too many pedal boards? That's 3, and then couple that with the fact that, you know, if I ever build a really, really small pedal board for, you know, travel purposes, you know, that would be a 4th one. So, you know, who knows? Who knows? That pedal sounds good. I need to go back into this chat. It's going by. I have missed quite a bit of stuff. Let's see. I think there we go. Okay, I'm back where I could. Aw, Dave Miley, did my video help you decide on getting a G2? I feel kind of honored by that. I do feel honored, actually. Not kinda. Sounding good. Glad that you ended up deciding to go with that. I spent years researching pedal switchers in the G2. Once I saw it, I'm like, yep, simple, easy to grasp, that's the one for me. Jasco Plumbing Supply in the house. What's going on, my friend? Glad to have you here. Thank you for joining. Yes, Brad, my pedal board is huge. Most of my pedal boards are huge. Oh well. Yeah, Ben, that's kind of what I did. He's saying, hide your power and wireless under the shelf. The only reason I don't want to hide the wireless under the shelf is I want to, like with any wireless system, there should be some line of sight between the transmitter and the receiver, or at least that's, in my personal theory. That way, if the transmitter and the receiver can clearly see each other without any obstruction, that's all the better. And considering that mine is the Relay G70 from line 6, it basically sits across two of those rails on the Woggy in the bottom right corner. And it's, it's the size of, it's about, I would say, size of maybe 1.5 to 2 Boss pedals. Yeah, 1.5, basically. I'm looking at 2 Boss pedals over here. So yeah, I just wanted to have it in the line of sight. And in the Warped Tour, I did have the power under the bridge. But what was very specific about that rig was I knew what our set was going to be. So I was kind of able to tailor what I needed on that board for those songs. This would be something that I'd want to build specifically with the purpose of making sure that I could get away with doing everything that we need to do, personally. Yeah, Aaron, you need to get yourself a new chemist. Jay Steen, I don't have any metal or super high gain pedals. Man, the Keeley Filaments is it, man. I like the Friedman stuff too, but that Keeley is that's something kind of special. As a matter of fact, let's have some fun with that. Because that's what we do here. We plug pedals in and out. All right. Clean it. Yeah, turn down the level just a little bit. Take off the crunch. Let's see. Yep. Great high gain amp like distortion pedal. It sounds so good. You got to get in on that, man. Gotta get in on that. Music Therapy Laz in the house. How's it going, my friend? You see you from time to time in other chats and on other videos. I know you've commented on a few, but it's good to see you in the live show. Thank you so much for joining in. Dave Miley is also a fan of the Vertex boost. Simple and excellent. It is. Simple and excellent. That's what I love about it. Ah, Mickey has a fat sandwich too. I do love the fat sandwich, and now that I finally have a way to get the most out of it, I'll be able to use it more often, and it'll sound good. Yeah, Aaron, I am still using the G2. It's just on the big board. It's on the rock board downstairs, so in the garage as well. So, I personally don't know how to play Hot Blooded, so that wasn't it. Oh well. Ah, Music Therapy Laz. I bought one of my favorite pedals from Pro Guitar Shop. They co-designed the Alter Ego x4 with TC Electronics. Such a killer delay pedal. Yeah, I did love the Alter Ego. It was great sounding delay pedal. Not as much control as I may have liked to have seen on the pedal, given all the weird idiosyncrasies of certain delay models that were in those pedals. But still very cool. Ah, Laz, I didn't know that you were up in the Bay Area. I've passed through Livermore many times. Many times. It's a nice little town out of the way from all the hustle and bustle of the city, as they call it, I suppose. I actually stayed there for a night on tour once at my drummer's aunt's house, which was very interesting. Hey, Matt Cisterna in the house. Uh-oh. YouTube screw you over? I'm sorry. Yeah, Laz, don't look at the chat while you're driving. Stay safe. That's what matters. Ben, you ordered another power supply tonight. Ben, we need to get you a more updated wireless system. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, Jasco, those Friedman power supplies are pretty good. You know, Dave knows rigs, so he's not going to design something stupid. Matt, you might want to just do a quick Google search on that for your Synthwaz milliamp draw. But if I had to guess, it shouldn't be something too crazy out there number. I think you should be okay. Janice, if you need to go back to sleep, go back to sleep. You know, it's all good by me. Ah, Matt asking about the Epiphone custom. Do you mean the Jotun? The white one? Or are you talking about the possible, potential, kinda, sorta, might happen signature model? Matt, like the one that I have, I'm not sure. Is it the Epiphone, like the white one that I demoed recently and that I'll use from time to time, the EMGs, or something, or is it a different Epiphone that you've seen? Um, Well, if it's the one that I think you're thinking about, which is the Jotun, the Bjorn Galat one, the white Les Paul custom, That one is, that's got EMGs in it, so immediately it's going to be a much more hefty sounding guitar. It's going to have a lot more of a crunchy tone to it. But the Custom Pro, I don't know that one actually. Jasco, I like the Strymon Flint a lot. I know I played, when I first really got to hang out with Mason from Vertex, he had a Flint on one of his demo boards, and I was really enjoying it. Most Strymon stuff is just really good. Still hoping to get a Volante in for a demo, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Ben, is it really rare to see Strymon stuff up in Canada? I mean, they're expensive pedals, so I assume with the conversion rate they'll get a little bit too expensive. Dave Miley, I don't know if the Z cable is in production anymore. I remember it, but I don't think it's in production anymore. Oh, thanks, Laz. Appreciate that. Not really going for that. Fun stuff. if we're gonna get on the subject of streaming services, I think the jury's still gonna be out on Disney Plus. You know, they're gonna need to do a lot with their original content in order to really be able to be a contender. You know, Disney owns a lot of content, and yes, they'll have they'll have all some of the Fox stuff, they'll have their own stuff. But to me, like, all these streaming services, they're relying on old content, legacy content. But I think where a lot of their new bread and butter is going to come from is really going to be it's really all going to be about what they make that's original. And I just don't know how that's going to go. Yeah, man, that's kind of the thing, Aaron. Like, I see a lot of people saying, like, oh, Netflix is in some trouble now that, Disney Plus has bundled themselves with Hulu and ESPN Plus, and it's like, yeah, but the original content of Netflix is, it's critically acclaimed. It's very well done. I mean, just between stuff like Stranger Things and 13 Reasons Why, two very good series, very well done, tackling some stuff that, not a whole lot of other people are, 13 Reasons Why in and of itself is a show that tackles subjects that not a whole lot of other shows are going to tackle. And I think the only people that would be willing to do that would be Netflix. Stranger Things is just an incredibly well done piece of television. Looks great. It's a fun show to watch. Nobody's really gonna, we'll see, as Pedalboard Jedi says, with the Mandalorian coming out on Disney Plus, the jury's still out for me on some of this Star Wars stuff. I love Star Wars, by the way. I absolutely love it. I am so excited about some of this new stuff. I'm excited about the new movies. I will always watch it. But, a lot of people really didn't like some of the new Star Wars movies. They didn't like Solo. People loved Rogue One, even though it was just good. It wasn't great. This cup is really big. But I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun watching those Star Wars movies and shows and things like that. So we'll see how The Mandalorian does, but Disney Plus is going to have to do quite a bit in terms of original content in order to really be an actual competitor. Yes, thank you, Pedalboard Jedi. Solo was good. I had such a blast in that movie. Me and my wife both have seen all the new Star Wars movies, and she liked Solo better than Rogue One, as, Aaron just said. Solo, to me, was a much better movie than Rogue One, because Rogue One relied completely on nostalgia. We also just, with, what was her name? That was Jyn Erso. I forget her name. I always mix Felicity Jones. I get that we're in this mode of badass female leads, and I'm all for it. But I think Daisy Ridley is far and above way better than she is as a badass female lead, because she just had one look. She had one look in the movie, and it was the whole movie. There was such a lack of emotion. It was silly. So, I personally had a lot more fun with Solo, and then the twist at the end was insane, and I hope that we see some more of that and see that evolve. I would love, and I honestly loved the idea of doing with Star Wars what Marvel Studios did with the Marvel Universe. I liked the idea of doing that, especially because it was only one movie a year. I only had to invest in one movie-going experience in order to keep up with what Star Wars was doing. I didn't have to go to the movies 4 times in the same year to watch the same style of movie. So I just really enjoyed that kind of slow rollout of content. But I guess because the majority of the fandom didn't enjoy it, whatever the fuck that means, Disney's rethinking their plans, and I don't like it. I don't personally know. Yeah, Pedalboard Jedi, that is true. Rebels does kind of let you know, but it would just be nice to see. It would be nice to see Ray Park get some more turns in the live action space. So, Aaron, Lord of the Rings series is going to be on Amazon Prime, not Netflix. So, just as a, little aside. Dark Crystal looks good though, too. Matt, you've never seen Star Wars? You gotta go get on that, man. You gotta get on that. Gotta get on that. This is all sounding good. I don't want to stop. But it's getting to be about that time, I think. I did not read those books, but, I'm sure that I'll find a reason to read some. But for right now, I don't have time to start reading anything new. There's a lot of good stuff coming up as far as television goes, but my wife and I just finished binge watching Friends, so I'm kind of into that right now. And I did love Donald Glover as Lando. That was fantastic. Can I play some Star Wars stuff? Actually, I do have a little cooked up in there. Actually, if you go back and watch my demo of the Walrus Audio ARP 87, that was the song that I played in the intro. I did that little kind of heavy arrangement of the Star Wars main title theme. So, got a click of the Force theme. Yep, you did. Do a crossover. We might have to do some crossovers. I don't know. Am I pro Ross, Aaron? Yeah, I'm pro Ross. I'm pro all of them. They're like such a they're such a good little group of people, you know? They really do have each other's backs. I think that he's man, the creators of How I Met Your Mother sure borrowed a lot from Ross for Ted. So, you know, I like him. I'm with him. Ah, thanks, Socks, and welcome to the chat. Hi, Terry. Aw, thanks, Socks. I appreciate you being able to check in live for the first time for this time, and also just anytime you're able to watch. You guys, honestly, it really does not matter to me if you guys can't catch the live streams 100% of the time when they air live. You know, the views come. You know, I appreciate the fact that you guys keep coming back and that you keep watching the videos. You know, hopefully over the course as the end of the year rolls out, you know, we've seen a lot of really great like the number of subscribers keeps ticking up every week, and it's every day little by little, and it's really cool to see that, you know, our little community is starting to grow. It's going to take a little bit more time and a little bit more effort to get some more stuff done. But I think that if we can, you know, reach a couple goals over the course of the next few months before 2020 hits, you know, it's gonna shape up to be pretty exciting. And some talks with some people to get some interesting gear in for content, even arrange some visits with some builders. So we'll see how things go. You know, the sky is the limit, really. I'm just trying to grow this thing as quickly and as best as I can without sacrificing quality. And I think that's, you know, that's really the reason why I don't do nearly as many videos as some people do. I want quality, not quantity. And you know, that's why normally you basically only see at most 2 videos from me a week. You're lucky if you get 3. These shows are cool. You know, it's cool for me to see to talk with you guys. It's cool for me to see who you are, talk with you, and get to know you guys, because it really, you know, the internet is kind of faceless these days, and this gives us an opportunity to put faces to names and stuff like that. So I'm very excited about it. You know, and hopefully over the course of the next few weeks, we'll see some more growth. We'll see that number tick up, because of course, the more the number ticks up, the more likely it is that I'm going to be able to do other stuff for you guys, be able to get access to certain equipment, make demos, and make content that you guys actually want to watch. And I'll actually, you know, get money for the things that I do as far as demos and reviews go, because at the end of the day, this is what I do now. You know, I full time, outside of doing the band, this is what I do. That's really it's not easy. You know, that's why I started the Patreon. You know, I need some revenue coming in to be able to keep this going and make sense for me to keep doing. I don't have any money really to invest in merch items, but if I had, I'd probably be selling merch. Right now, really the only merch you can buy is band merch, which I always get a share of and ends up going to, you know, whatever it is that I'm doing. You know, it's usually split. As of right now, it's split 2 ways. Half a share goes to our drummer, and then half a share goes to me and the wife. We kind of, you know, have fused into one at this point, so there's a 50-50 split. But some of that goes to fun stuff that I do here. And of course, that means being able to pay bills and buy groceries, which is getting more and more expensive on this paleo diet, which is insane. Aw, Socks, thanks, man. That means a lot. That's really cool of you to say. I'm glad that you keep coming back. You know, I'm glad that a lot of you guys continue to come back, and that you know, rely on me for this stuff. It's, you know, it means a lot. You know, I don't do this. I do this because I have a lot of fun doing it. I do it because I have a passion for doing it. But with that, if you guys weren't tuning in and you weren't watching it, there'd be a very, very little reason to keep going. Very little reason. Fuzz Hugger, I have thought of it. So I definitely would be interested. At this point, really, what it comes down to with contacting companies is I usually prefer to have people who I usually prefer to get in touch with people that have worked with other friends of mine. When it comes to cold, as of right now, I don't really get paid. I have to get paid something. And so when it comes to cold contacting, I don't get paid for those, which I don't want to do too many of. But I certainly have companies that I'm interested in working with, and I have to be very diligent about how much of my work I give out. I hate to put it that way, and I hate to talk in those terms, but that's just the reality. Mr. Dave Miley, I am happy that you tuned in. I'm glad that you'll be coming back. I really think you guys are gonna like the angle pedals that are being demoed over the course of the next few weeks. They're really good pedals. The fuzzy head, as a matter of fact, is basically a fuzz pedal for those who don't like fuzz. Just some really great stuff. Thanks, Dwight. I appreciate you tuning in, man. If you need to go, feel free. Hope you have a good night, and hey, come back next week. I've seen you basically every week recently, so I'm sure you will, but no worries if you can't. Your life is your life, and I fit into it somehow, and that's pretty damn cool. Brad just subbed today. Brad, you are brand new to the family, and I welcome you, and I thank you for that. That means a lot. I've thought about Teespring, Aaron, and Ben. I've thought about it, for the drop shipping stuff. I'm just not 100% convinced that it's the right thing for me to do at this point. Um, I just have to, consider my options and do more research. But I would like to be able to make items that are really, things that I would really like. I know that there are a couple Teespring stores that I've seen that they just have everything, and I just don't really want to do that. Aw, Jay, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do my best, and I'm not the great. I appreciate the compliment on my playing, but I'm not the best guitar player in the world. I know that, and I never claim to be, which is always funny when the troll comments come in like, "Yeah, you suck" or something like that. It's just like I never claimed to be good. I just claim to be me. It just happens. I'm a guy that loved it enough to want to turn it into a career and had to be at least somewhat adequate at playing. So I think that even if I'm the worst guitar player in the world, well, I still think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty confident in my skills. Socks. Yeah, the angle pedals. They're pretty much brand new. There's some other demos out there, but come back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Saturday. Saturday's demo is the full range boost, so it's a clean boost, but I demo it with 3 different guitars. I doubt that any of the other videos went that thorough, so I'm excited about it. It sounds really good. I might be doing a giveaway for that though, because I don't see myself really using it that much. But it sounds great. It's a fantastic pedal. Yeah, guys, Dwight has his own channel. He has a few videos up there of him playing and singing, so go check it out. He has a lot of fun with it. It's really cool to see you guys get into making some own content of your own content and showing and sharing what you guys do. I too suck, but I'm Quentin Viv King James. I always like it when people censor the F word with a V. It's fun. Well, guys, it's getting to be about that time. We've been going for around about 80 minutes now, but I want to say thank you to all of you. There's about 15 of you still here. It means a lot that you've stuck here around and that you've, joined in the chat. You've had some fun. I've had some fun. If you would do me all a favor as we start growing this community, please continue to invite your friends, invite your family and other musicians in your life to come join in on the fun here on the live shows and here on the channel. Of course, you can do that by sharing the subscribe links, so please do. If you haven't done so already, which most of you probably have, or if you're watching this in the future and you're just finding it for the first time, please do click the subscribe button and turn on some notifications. Come back this Saturday for the next episode of Stompbox Saturday, and also underneath me right here, you can consider following on Instagram as well as joining the Patreon page for exclusive content and early access stuff as well. To my moderators, Aaron Lee of Albus Band and Ben Coombs, thank you all so much for helping me out with these as you normally do. And to Socks, Brad Miller, Jay Steen, Matt Cisterna, Amanda Coombs, oh my god, the chat's going, Dwight Bailey, Music Therapy Laz, the one and only Quentin James. Where's everybody else? I gotta say it. I gotta do it. Mr. Dave Miley, Janice Lala. Oh my god, am I gonna be able to make it through everybody on this? Pedalboard Jedi. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I want to say thank you to every Jasco Plumbing Supply. There's another one. Mickey Settlemeyer. I got Jay Steen, I think, and if I didn't, Jay Steen as well. But to all you guys that have tuned in already and will tune in the future, thank you all for watching this and listening, and come back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for SPJ Live. And until then, my friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, wishing you all out there great tone and happy stomping. Have yourself a good night. Cheers.